Coming up, let your fingers do the clicking. Monster.com's Asia boss is going to join us after the break to discuss its new initiatives to bring employers and job seekers together.
Welcome back. Thursday here on Street Sign. Shares of U.S.-listed Monster Worldwide seeming to be on a road to recovery this year, up more than a third so far this year. Year to date, analysts expect the online recruitment site, which reported revenues of $770 million last year, to stage a turnaround that's in line with the recent growth in North America. But its international arm, though, is not faring as well. Margins in that segment down to just 1.5% last year from 27.3%. back in 2011. That's partly due to macroeconomic conditions and also increased competition from other online platforms. Can you say LinkedIn? The company is launching a new product in the region called Talent Bin, which is already operational in North America. The service aims to get employers and recruiters to hire niche talent in Southeast Asia. Sanjay Modi joins us, Asia Managing Director at Monster.com, usually based in India, for a nice change, joining us here live around the desk at the SGX. Sanjay, good to see you. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah,
good morning.
Tell us about Talent Bin. Sounds interesting. What is niche talent? What are we talking about here? What kind of people?
Yeah, so basically Talent Bin talks to technology players, technology professionals, not only IT, but application of technology across industry domains. Now, these are the kind of people who don't actively look for jobs, or if they have put their CV in a job board, they are not the ones who will come and update. But as you are seeing in the Asian market...
Well, why is that? Because they're basically comfortable, happy, and paid well enough where they are?
They are the ones who are being headhunted.
So yes,
Okay.
So the employers chase them, and obviously they carry a premium. And look at the technology, the way it is moving, in the manufacturing domain, in the IT domain. So most of the employers are looking at somehow to get in touch with these kind of professionals so that they can share their value proposition and invite them to work for their companies.
So you don't want to be rude. I don't either, but to be less diplomatic, basically this sounds like a poaching site.
No, it's not poaching actually, because it's kind of putting the job seeker and the employer on a common platform so that you can engage.
So the job seeker puts their resume on the platform?
No. So what it does is they may not be coming to a job board, but they are very active on the digital landscape. So these are the kind of people who will be going to specific sites, sharing their project, asking for solutions on the technology they are working in their peer group across the world. So what this technology does is it captures that information and presents it to the employer in a form of a profile. So the employers get to see the most updated area of work that they are working on. And obviously,
If they've
That's
shared
smart,
it already.
but it sounds kind of sneaky
so
too.
the information,
Yeah.
so the information that is collated is the only one which is in the public domain.
So there could be a person that's better for the job that's not necessarily on the site because they haven't shared their work.
Absolutely. So if on a particular site, the job seeker or the so-called candidate has kept the settings as private or confidential,
we will
not touch. Secondly, we are, as being a US listed company, we take the privacy and confidential laws very seriously.
For Talent Bin, is your business model different?
No, it's the same. It's the employers pay us, job seekers don't pay us at all. And obviously the employers are finding it extremely useful because the survey that we did in Asian market, most of them said that 55% of their time actually goes into looking at these candidates because they don't know where they are.
Well, so this is the problem that I find with technology when it comes to job seeking and recruitment, is that you can look at a resume and it can have a very different impact on you than when you meet the person face to face.
Yes.
So this is a problem if you just base your job decisions on the resume.
Absolutely.
There's
So
on
what
paper,
happens?
There's in person, right?
Two different
and this is
things.
what this technology does. So you may have a resume. You're also looking at a live work and communications which are happening around his work area in the digital landscape. You match it up to see whether the resume was updated or not. What others are talking about this particular candidate. I'll give you an example. For example, Stack Overflow is a website in which when you go and share your work, depending upon how helpful you were, you get certain ratings. So that rating about that individual on the expertise and how helpful you were to others gets captured, gives a kind of a sense to a particular employer on the team building, teamwork, interpersonal skills, and also obviously the technology and skills.
This sounds like a very much more sort of real way to sort of rate a person as a candidate to fill a job position. Yes. Let me ask you, for forums and sites and areas and places basically where privacy is not an issue, which is open to the public, would the person who's a potential candidate be aware that you are literally sort of tuning in or eavesdropping?
So he may not be aware because we are not eavesdropping, as I said.
Okay.
The information collated is the information in the public domain.
Okay.
Number two, when we are crawling, we restrict ourselves to occupation and education only. If there is anything that is crawled which we feel forms under the blacklist, which is a confidential information, that is parked aside. So that is not presented. That's the seriousness towards it.
Personal life on Facebook, that sort of thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Facebook could be personal, but other technology sites like GitHub, Stack Overflow, and hundreds of others would be just work-related. So
Is it just me, or have you not heard of those two sites that Sanjay just mentioned?
I think it's very specialist.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Very specialist, vertical sites.
Very. So we are just trying to track an individual based on skills. And skills are related to work. That's the only contribution we are making because it's a great value add to that job seeker.
Okay, Sanjay, so surprise me by saying that you are not expecting fatter margins from this.
Pardon?
Surprise me by saying that you're not expecting fatter margins from this. Better margins from this.
We are expecting better margins of it because the whole equation, it's a whole equation on the ROI. Right. These are the kind of assignments which are going to search companies and headhunters. Now the employers could be in a driving seat and would be having much more information to action it. And everyone aggregated in a form of a profile rather than hopping on hundreds of sites themselves.
It's much more direct as well. Okay, excellent. Sanjay, fantastic talking to you.
Yeah, good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.